the bottom of the 5. I give it a little bit of a shake, and the 1 jumps right through the 5. I know what you're saying. Impossible. Was that somebody falling or clapping? I couldn't tell. Take your hand, turn over, hold on to that, don't let go. There's actually there's a soft spot right there. I kid. Do you want to see how that works? Yeah. I need $6 more.
I don't think I can actually provide that for you.
Okay. So ghost bills is one of my favorite tricks, and maybe I subtly suggested that. I used a subtlety to get you to ask me to do this. It's one of my favorite tricks because it's totally impromptu. It uses borrowed bills. There have been different bill-through-bill effects, and I like my version because I'm an egomaniac. No, I like mine because I don't overfill the bills any more than I need to, and it's very clean, and I'll show you the method on this. I love Timothy Wink was a guy who invented the trick called misled, which is a pencil through a bill. Have you ever seen this effect? It's really amazing. I saw David Copperfield do it. I did not know how it worked. It fooled me. And I had the most elaborate, stupid explanation in my head. When I finally found out, I'm like, oh, that's so much smarter than me. But I love the idea of basically one object passing through another. And I thought, man, if I could do that with bills, I could do that at any time, anywhere. And so I had the method. I came up with this basic method, but I didn't have a setup or a way to get into it. And that was the hardest part. And so the idea was, how do you create the idea that, that the 5 is wrapped around the 1? And what you do is you have what's called like a little Z-fold there, like that. And that creates the illusion, if we get in close, that creates the illusion that it's inside of there, but actually it's on the back, okay? Now, if you remember all of your little optical illusions when you're a kid, like which table's bigger with the arrows pointing out, and like which hat's taller, a hat on its side and stuff, we use the same kind of logic here. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get this fold. You need to keep it there for a second. While she's folding that, and I'm talking about, make Abraham Lincoln on the outside, I need to get my Z-fold here. And it took me forever to figure out how to do it, but I was just waiting for my parents one day. I wanted to go visit them, and I had a bill in my hand, and I did this move, and all of a sudden I had the Z-fold. And all it was I realized if I just push it through my fingers, squeeze it with a little scissor like that, and then fold that over, I can get my Z-fold. And if I'm talking to you, I can straighten it out, I can do whatever I need. Now the weakness there is this bill is shorter. So I try not to hold it straight on, I hold it at an angle which hides that. And that's kind of a stage principle. A lot of the stuff that I think about from stage applies to here. So now I've got this bill, fold it like that again, squeeze, flip, and I'm like that. And then if we go, I take this 5 now, she's pulled to the 5. Now what I need to do is I need to put the 1 inside of the 5. And the way I'm going to do that is, as I'm talking, I slide this through like that, and I actually slide that over. Now you can do a convincing spread where it happens all at once, whatever, but I'm just sliding this in straight like that. My hands conceal it, and I do that, okay? And so now I've got, looks like I say the 5 is wrapped around the 1, and now I'm going to do a little subtlety here, which the only place you ever hear the subtlety is in my lectures. I grab this, I put all my fingers on there, and I go, the 5 is wrapped around the 1, okay? And it's basically, I flip it over, but I don't show you, I just do that. And then I can go do this, I go the 5 is wrapped around the 1, and I do this turnover, so it's like kind of like a paddle move. I go the 5 is wrapped around the 1, and so their belief is that they've seen both sides of that. Nothing's happened yet. We've just set up, we just wrapped the 5 around there, but I'm all ready to go. So now I just put my thumb over this, and I slide that through, and you get that effect, and I just immediately show the other side of the 1, like that, and then show the 5, and I'll open up the 5 like that. But being careful, you never want to do this too much because it'll show the difference, and you really don't want to do that. It shrunk, okay? So Z-fold, slide it through, okay? And then do this move to slide it out, okay? Open that, close it. Then the next phase, the second phase is I'm going to bring this in back, I'm going to clip this over, I'm going to say, look, this is on the bottom, okay? And you see that. And then I'm going to do this move where I reverse that fold, and I pop it, and it looks like it just popped right in there. And that's a really cool setup. So now I pop that in there, okay? And now I can do that subtlety again, okay? 5's wrapped around there, okay? Do a turn over, okay? And again, it's just a casual kind of thing. I'm showing you nothing. I'm assuming that, you know, hey, there's nothing to see. So now I'm here. And then for the last phase, I bring it up to here. I take your hand, and I have you clip onto that. And we just slowly slide that through. And then we open that up. As I open this up, I'm going to crimp that to get rid of that fold. And I open that, and I stare over there. I stare at you, smoldering. Magic. Magic. And her stitches don't pop. High five. Thank you very much. Thank you for the thanks. She was awesome. Round of applause. She survived.
It was awesome. Thank you for teaching that.
For you guys.
Hey. Can we ask just a few more questions?
Absolutely. Yeah. My patience is infinite. I don't know what the people here, but you know.
No, these are really interesting questions. Have you used magic for teaching non-magic, like as a tool, as an illustrator?
Yes. Yes.
Could you talk about how you incorporated it?
So, the problem is, and you want to be very careful, you don't want your magic to be too distracting from the point you're trying to make. And I spent a number of years working on a program teaching critical thinking, and that's sort of how to look at things in a sort of a more logical, how to understand, how to evaluate evidence. And magic was a great way to do that because magic was a way to show how you're fooled. Now, if you want to use magic to capture attention as an opening kind of effect or something, a simple little trick can be great. If you want to start off a lecture or anything, simple things. I'd have a teacher that would walk in there and do, the water gel. Would use that stuff. Put water in a, cup or something like that, and stub a pencil through it, and then turn it upside down. Little things like that. A little thing up front to make a point, and then to get into it's fine. I think you just got to be very careful that does not distract from your point, because I learned the hard way. If you go in there to do something and people are still going, how did that trick work? And I almost want to say it shouldn't be too good of a trick. It should be kind of a fun, kind of cool thing, but not something they're like going, wait, back up. Okay, how did the gorilla paw come out of the bag? Okay. So that would be my advice, is either at the beginning, at the end is great because you've made your point and then you leave them with something, but be careful that it does not distract from the message.
It's funny, I've heard similar things in advertising about using sexy references or sexy images, that it throws the message completely off track.
Oh, for sure.
It's similar to kind of what you're saying about using magic.
Yeah, I mean, I did a thing years ago. I produced was a pilot for a children's television project, and I had a great idea, and this was a long time ago. I had an idea for a segment called Zombie Science, which